the 7 last words of Christ. That's the way they're known. They are 7 statements that Jesus made from the cross as he was dying. The verses are taken from the Gospels. Traditionally, in the church, we have remembered these words on Good Friday as a way of remembering the gift of life and love Jesus gave us on the cross. One of the most poignant and dramatic ways of remembering them is with the service of shadows, or Tennebrae. It involves the extinguishing of candles as each of these 7 last words are read. Finally, the last of the candles, the Christ candle, is not extinguished but removed to symbolize Jesus' body being taken down from the cross and placed in the tomb. It will not be seen again until Easter Sunday morning. As we read these scriptures now, let us stop to consider what Christ has done for us.
2 others also, who were criminals, were led away to be put to death with him. And when they came to the place which is called the Skull, there they crucified him and the criminals, one on the right and one on the left. And Jesus said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." And they cast lots to divide his garments. And the people stood by watching, but the ruler scoffed at him, saying, "He saved others, let him save himself, if he is the Christ of God, his chosen one." The soldiers also mocked him, coming up and offering him vinegar, and saying, "If you are the king of the Jews, save yourself." There was also an inscription over him, "This is the King of the Jews." One of the criminals who were hanged railed at him, saying, "Are you not the Christ? Save yourself and us." But the other rebuked him, saying, Do you not fear God, since you are under the same sentence of condemnation? And we indeed justly, for we are receiving the due reward of our deeds, but this man has done nothing wrong. And he said to Jesus, "Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom." And he said to him, "Truly, I say to you, today you will be with me in paradise." When Jesus saw his mother and the disciple whom he loved standing near, he said to his mother, "Woman, behold your son." Then he said to the disciple, "Behold your mother." And from that hour, the disciple took her to his own home. Now from the 6th hour there was darkness over all the land until the 9th hour. And about the 9th hour Jesus cried with a loud voice, my God, why hast thou forsaken me?" After this, Jesus, knowing that all was now finished, said, to fulfill Scripture, "I thirst." And a bowl of vinegar stood there. So they put a sponge full of the vinegar on hyssop and held it to his mouth. When Jesus had received the vinegar, he said, "It is finished." And he bowed his head and gave up his spirit. It was now about the 6th hour, and there was darkness over the whole land until the 9th hour, while the sun's light failed, and the curtain of the temple was torn in two. And then Jesus, crying with a loud voice, said, "Father, into thy hands I commit my spirit." And having said this, he breathed his last.
I invite you now to close this post and click on the next post, a video from several years ago. Debbie Looney is the artist. Ken Lenny sings Above All, written by Michael W. Smith. We dedicate this in loving memory of Malcolm Pruitt, Debbie's father, who was such an important part of her ministry.